Hello, hello. Welcome to this Facebook Live this morning. Good morning, because for me it's 10 a.m. I'm still in beautiful Arizona. So, wherever you are, good afternoon for the Eastern people. Welcome again to another Facebook Live. Welcome, B2B sales people, professional. Glad for you to be here. Today, I will share mistakes. I will share with you prospecting mistakes I've made, I personally made along my career. So I made a lot of mistakes all the way through my sales career. And I think and believe this is the only way you can learn when you're experiencing stuff. So I will share these mistakes today. Of course, you like me, when we're in sales, we want results, and results as far as prospecting is concerned. What we want is fill our pipeline with qualified opportunities. And the problem I had often is I had no qualified leads, so no opportunities. Oftentimes, I don't know if you're like me, but I had to make them up. So fill my pipeline with stuff that I didn't necessarily believe it would close. So I will share with you mistakes I've made. I'm Céline Landry. I'm French Canadian. I'm a business coach, and I firmly believe my mission is to help B2B sales professional to create a flow of profitable, qualified opportunities over a 3-month period, with in order for you to become a top performer with my unique RFN method. RFN stands for right freaking now, because I firmly believe that there is nothing like the present time. So this morning or this afternoon, five mistakes I've made, what I learned. And of course, because I learned to do things differently along the way. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to share a bonus mistake, a sixth one. So it's going to be 6 mistakes that I learned from through my sales career. So mistake number one, I would say I was not focused. I was not focused on who I wanted to call, or what was my targeted market. So I didn't spend the time enough to target my territory. What are the my ideal prospect, if you will. I was making a lot of calls for nothing. So people didn't want to hear from me. So this is a major mistake. You need to narrow who you want to call depending on what you're selling and what is the product or services you're selling. So this is mistake number one. Mistake number two, so let's say I had a clear view on who I wanted to call. Mistake number two is not spending enough time doing some research. So oftentimes what happened to me is I would pick up the phone or write an email saying something like, hey, my name is so and so, and we've done this and this and this. And I didn't take the time to research enough about the company I wanted to call or the person I wanted to call, what it mean for me. And I went through some pretty embarrassing calls through my career, because the person on the other end, either you don't have the right information, you have it completely wrong, they don't know what you're talking about. And even one time, I got the plain and simple answer like, I'm losing my time, don't call me again. Very brutal, right to the point person. It was so embarrassing. I swear to myself, I would never do it again. So this is mistake number two. Do your research, people, before you call, email, or video someone. do your research. This is key to prevent embarrassing moments. Mistake number three I've made, and you can share in the chat if you want. What is your number one mistake? Which mistake do you either? What is your biggest mistake while you're prospecting? So mistake number three for me is not having clear goals, and the mistakes are not in order of, let's say I call someone, I get a meeting. It's not in any particular order. It's just mistakes I've made. So having goals when you're prospecting, calling someone, is knowing about what you want to happen next. Is it a demo? You want to book a demo, or the person came through your marketing, your website, or it's a qualified leads from marketing, qualified being, we don't know, it comes from marketing or the website. So you need to know what do you want to accomplish before accomplishing it, because without any clear goals, you're not going to know what you need to do next, and maybe you're going to lose spending time on that specific lead. So I spend a lot of time and spending cycles. For me personally, I didn't have any goals. I just wanted to talk to as much people as possible, as many people as possible. Like I wanted to talk to everybody and anybody, whatever. I didn't really care about the outcome. What do I want to accomplish? And this is a mistake. You need to be focused. Mistake number four, and I would say this is my biggest mistake, not knowing enough or mastering, I would say, your solution, your unique value proposition. You need to be on top of this. Again, I talked about embarrassing moments. So I had quite a few of those embarrassing moments. And I'm proud of it because when you're vulnerable, you're ready to learn and you're not perfect. Even if it's during a meeting with customers, they get it, they understand it. And I really believe and think that they are appreciating you more for that because you're vulnerable. I've seen a lot of sales rep coming to meetings like either knowing it all or pretending to know it all, and it's sometimes if you make some mistake, it seems like it's off. But if you genuinely, openly make mistakes and you're not mastering everything in your company and you don't know everything about your solution, it's okay. So, but the thing is, I think what I'm trying to say is not knowing enough, I mean, about my solution, the product I was selling, my unique value proposition, and the specific pains it addresses for my prospect, my customer, put me in situations sometimes where I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to bring benefits to them, what they were saying to me, how I could answer and link that to my solution. So this is something that you really need to spend time on learning your solutions, this uniqueness, the benefits, the ROI, the language. And then when you're talking to a customer or a prospect, you can, with what they're saying, you know your stuff, and you can answer accordingly. So this is my main thing. Take the time to learn your stuff, and you're going to learn, of course, along the way. Mistake number five, again, we're in prospecting mistakes. Mistakes number five is not crafting compelling enough messages. Messages being either you call someone, you email, or you're videoing, or you're recording yourself to send to a prospect, or whatever media you're using, you need to craft compelling messages if you want to get attention. And I didn't spend enough time. Well, I've learned, and since then, of course, throughout my career, I've become better at it. But I would say at the beginning, this is not something that I was spending a lot of time on. So you need to spend time to craft compelling messages. And if you want to leave voicemail, there's a way to leave voicemail, and you can practice voicemail. So you should practice voicemail, like you should pay attention to what you write in emails. This is the same thing for voicemail, for example, or phone calls. Take a sit down with a colleague and play it before you do it, and doing it often, you're gonna be able to do it. With much more, you're going to be able to craft your compelling story before calling or emailing. So I had a question before about, I have a lot of questions about researching. This is a whole different topic. How do we do research? Like, people agree they do research, but what specific research? And most of the questions I have are around researching and crafting a compelling message. So there is a way to do that. So research, it's a whole different topic about how to do research. In fact, leave me in the comment, because I'm gonna have a specific live on how to do research. So if you're interested, put in the comments. I am interested in knowing more about research. Same thing about crafting and preparing a compelling message. I'm working on a specific project. It's going to be a 5 days challenge. So stay tuned. If you're interested, put in the comments below. I'm interested in the challenge about and learn about the how to craft compelling messages. So it's coming soon. So stay tuned. So back to the mistake number 6, and the bonus mistake is not knowing how to engage with a prospect, how and what to say specifically. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, every time you want to engage with a prospect, either, again, whatever the media, the phone, the email, video these days, um, you need to find a trigger. You need to spend time to find an angle to engage with your prospect. What are they doing? Again, there's ways to find triggers. So you need to look for triggers, and this will give you the way to engage. You're going to know when you find this trigger how you will engage with your prospects. So my mistake number 6 was not knowing that, and not looking for that. For me, was, again, back to the message. The message, I didn't know what to say, how to say it, how to engage, how to ask questions. So there's a lot of work that needs to be there's a lot of work that goes into before calling a prospect, or even calling, emailing, videoing, whatever. So there it is. This is my 6, the 6 being the bonus. My 5 mistakes I've made through my career. Of course, I made, and even if I learned, like I said, I went through these 5 mistakes. So mistake number 1, I didn't have a clear profile of who I wanted to call. Number 2, didn't do my homework, not enough research on the leads. Uh, I didn't have any specific goals, didn't know where we would end up, a demo or whatever, a meeting or a whatever it was. I didn't have that. I didn't have a specific strategy. So not knowing my solution, product, services, what is it I'm offering, how it match the potential pains and issues of my prospects, leads, customers, my unique value proposition. I didn't master this enough and it created problems. Um, and again, on this one, you need to be not very technical, deep down to the weeds. This is not what I'm saying. Is knowing what I'm saying is you need to know enough about your solutions, what it brings, and again, back to the research on your leads, what it could bring to your customers. You need to know enough about that, not on the technical stuff. I know some people want to get into the weeds, but this is not what I'm talking about. We're salespeople. We need to know enough to talk about, to link it to their pains and issues and problems. Number 5 was not crafting a compelling enough message. Customers or prospect often didn't want to talk to me, didn't return my message. It was not interesting. And the last one, the bonus, was how to engage. This is about finding a trigger, an angle to your message. So I hope it helped you. If you like what you heard today, please like and share and comment. 2 things to comment today. If you're interested about knowing more about how to do your research, number 1, let me know in the comments. I want to learn more about research. And number 2, how to craft a compelling message. Let me know. I want to learn about compelling messages. And the question for you, these were my personal mistakes. I know that it's not the same for everybody. Let me know, what are the mistakes you've made or you're still making today. Share them in the comments again. And with that, I'll see you next week for another live. Bye bye. Take care.